All right, everybody, come on in. Let's get in the room. Y'all see our guest today. This is going to be a fun show, guys. Fun show. I always like it when we have guests who know a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and have been in the industry for a while. It's always a lot of fun. So come on in and say hello. Let us know you are here. Pez. I'm going to call you Pez the whole time. How are you doing, Liz?
I'm good. Having a good Thursday.
Oh, good.
Thursdays are a day off of streaming, so I get to stream.
Okay. Hey,
the
Clown
world gets
Hammer.
to see more of me.
How are you doing, Clown Hammer? Good to see you over there. Thank y'all for coming in. Just say hello. I have one rule for all the new people who come in. I only have one rule on my show. I don't mind if you lurk, or like in some places they call it licking the window. That's a weird thing for me, but apparently if you don't
That sounds like a
tap into
bearded
something,
thing.
they call it licking the window if you don't tap in to watch.
Licking the window.
Yeah, never heard of it before till Remurf for some reason. But I don't mind if you lurk, but at least say hello before you go sit in the corner. I want to know you're here. I want to know who's hanging out with us. And, the peanut gallery is so important in this show. Y'all are the ones who feed me the questions. I've got a ton of questions, but I'm always interested in what you guys want to know about Pez, because some of y'all probably know Pez more than I do, and we might get some little juicy things every now and then, right? So come on in. What's up, Bearded Printer? How are you doing? Good to see you. But y'all keep coming in. Keep coming in, saying hello. Let us know where you're at. PezLiz and I have known each other for a while. We've just never kind of been able to make this happen, and I'm glad we finally did.
We're making it happen.
So, making it happen, most definitely. Guys, this is the beginning of the show, so if y'all are really, let us know how it sounds. Let me make sure we have no echoes, no weird stuff going on. We always want the interview to go the best possible.
If it's people from my community, they will say they can't hear anything just to troll.
just to troll. I'll watch out for the people over there then. Thank you, Clown Hammer. What's up, Shadow Doan? D-O-A-N? Shondone. There it is. Shondone. I'm reading all these new names, guys. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you for being a part. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, so I talked about the rule. I don't mind if you lurk, but at least come in, say hello before you sit back and just listen. I hope that you do give input. I really like when the audience gets engaged. I call it the peanut gallery. So if you hear me say peanut gallery, that's you guys. All right, that's y'all. So I want y'all to ask your questions. Sometimes I wait till certain segments. I'm always watching the questions. I see what's there, so don't think I'm ignoring you. We will get to your questions eventually. And finally replace that Z. Moving on up. There we go.
Yeah, weird looking Z and Z. That's true.
Okay.
True. Yeah.
Well, how's the weather where you're at, Pez?
It is 9 degrees Celsius, so in the 50s, I think. 50s? So it's okay.
Yeah, I would definitely have to do that conversion.
Yeah, I would like spring to arrive, please.
Okay. We've been kind of in the upper 60s. We hit 80 a couple of times, but it's definitely been kind of on the lower end. What's up, Steffi Makes? How are you doing? Good to see you. We got Tech Jeeper. How are you doing? Good to see everybody.
Oh, now trouble's here.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Well, I think between the two of us, there's a lot of people we consider trouble, right?
Probably all of them.
Probably. I know Steffi's one of mine that causes a lot of trouble. But guys,
K2 Kevin's here too, so we're in big trouble.
Yeah, we're definitely in big trouble now. Okay, you win. Guys, the thing about this show is the reason we do it is that we want to get to know the people that we enjoy watching better. That's a big important thing for us. If you don't know my story, we all kind of have those deep dark times in our lives, right? I know each of us have probably had that. I had a time in my life where I felt like I was just a tool people use to get things done. And as content creators, us watchers of the content creators just kind of take, right? And we forget they're real people. And so we just like taking this time to just get to know the content creators and the makers that we enjoy watching so much better. But then the the second most important thing is we want to expose them to a much larger audience. So that's where you come in. I can't sit here while I'm talking with her and share this out, but you can. You can let all the other people out there, all the people who you might think would be interested in learning about PezLiz and all the things that she's doing. Maybe you don't think they would be, but send it anyway. Let them know. Let them get over here and learn about this person that we enjoy watching her content. We enjoy being a part of her community and everything. I know so many people here do. So thank y'all for coming in. What's up? Yes, y'all are trouble. 100%. 100%. What is a PezLiz? You know.
Uh-oh.
I know. What's a PezLiz? And that probably, honestly, should, once I hit this record button over here, should probably kind of be our first question is, where does the name PezLiz come from?
Oh, yeah. I could share that. I'm prepared for that question.
Okay. Oh, she's searching. She's looking around.
the desk of chaos.
The desk.
There we go.
All of our desks are chaos. I'm right there with you.
I think so. I think so. Actually, I know so. I am, yeah, Tech Cheaper, I am the Canadian Pez outlaw. That's true.
Okay. I have not heard that one. I have not heard that one.
There's a documentary about this guy that was bringing in Pez illegally in the late 90s, early 2000s. European Pez was like a specialty thing that you couldn't necessarily get in the US.
Wow.
And I was in a Pez Heads Yahoo group, and I sent Pez to that guy from Canada.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have a connection to the actual Pez outlaw.
Okay. Pez outlaw.
So,
see, I didn't even know that. I'd never even heard of that. Never even heard of that. Now, so it is pretty much directly linked to Pez, huh?
Yeah. I can tell. Do you want to tell
please,
the story now?
Please.
Okay.
And I could even show this picture. I know you've got a picture here of something with Pez.
Pez.
Yeah.
Pezfinity.
The little pet. Whoops, I got to slide over. But yeah.
Pezfinity enabled Pez display system.
That is.
That was a collaboration with K2 Kevin to make sure my Pez dispensers don't fall down. I have them in the background here. So Pez, the Pez story, it's pretty simple. I was at a summer camp, and there were a lot of people whose names started with L. And you know, when you play those icebreaker games, it was called, I think it was like Fruit Basket or Grocery Store or something. Right. It was like, my name is Liz and I like lemons. They went through all the different L things, and I was like, my name is Liz and I like pomegranates. And they're like, okay, Piz, and then they decided they call me Pez.
Okay.
And so then when I signed up for my Hotmail account, it was PezLiz, and I was PezLiz since 1998.
1998. We got Steffi Makes is she's in Connecticut, so apparently that's where the original Pez
Orange, Connecticut.
There you go.
Orange, Connecticut is the U.S. home to Pez. Yes, someday I will go there.
I will
go
great.
there someday.
We got zombies like, look at the difference in their framing. Here, hold on.
That
make you feel better?
I'm sitting on a pillow there. A little bit better there.
I like a little higher framing. I come from TV, so higher framing is different. Internet, you center up. You know, it's always weird, but that's okay. Yeah. We'll get there. Anyway, awesome. I did not know that. I mean, I assumed Pez, but I didn't kind of know the story and everything, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I stuck with it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when you find a good username, you keep it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's so funny how many people like keep their gamer names and everything, no matter where they're at within their content creation journey. It is really, really interesting. So, I mean, let's just go on and jump into some of the basic questions. I know people who don't necessarily know you well will want to know, but like, how did you get into 3D printing itself?
Okay. So, picture this. No.
Picture this.
It probably starts about 14 or 15 years ago. I cut the cord, and so I stopped watching television and I was watching YouTube a lot. So I came across vloggers, and one of the vloggers that I was watching was Chris Pirillo. And Chris Pirillo decided to put together an event called Vlogger Fair, which was a conference for people who vlog and their fans. So kind of like a mini VidCon, but specific to the niche of vlogging. And after his first year, I found out that he was going to be going to an event in Toronto, which is another YouTube-related event called Buffer Festival. So it's actually a YouTube film festival that's hosted in Toronto every year. So I volunteered at Buffer Festival, and at Buffer Festival, I met Chris Pirillo. And awesome. I had been working as an event planner and offered to help him with Vlogger Fair. And so from his first message to me until now, the rest is history. But I helped with the Vlogger Fair events, and then I helped manage his YouTube channel, his tech streaming, and as That's things awesome. Sort of transitioned, he got his first 3D printer, I believe, in 2022 or 2021 or 2022. I was a mod for him. And that's how I met people like Fix'em Dude. Okay. I'm sure you know, like Krusty 3D, Chris Russell, people like that. They were part of Chris's community. And so awesome. So then in 2022, I got my first 3D printer thanks to Krusty and Fix'em Dude.
Okay.
The Focus Odin 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have the picture of that.
The
don't
printer
we?
that
we
folds. Yes.
Yeah. So.
And that was February of 2022. In April of 2022, we started with Chris Pirillo. We started MakerDeck. Okay. So that's the 24/7 Twitch channel that has people from all over the world sharing their printers and their projects and all those things. And how did I get? Yeah, and that's basically how I started 3D printing, and then the rest, me streaming and stuff is continues from there.
Right. Now, what was your second printer?
My second printer, it was a Prusa Mark 3S Plus.
Okay, that was my very first printer. So
I had some problems with it, but it was a good printer.
Yeah, eventually.
So, yes.
Yeah. No, I get it. How many printers do you have now?
I have a whole fleet of bamboos right now. Okay. So I regularly run an A1, a P2S, an X1 Carbon, and I have an A1 Mini. The A1 Mini right now has a Panda Treat on it. Oh. So that's something we can talk about too.
Okay.
And I also have a Prusa Mini, and I recently, I was a beta tester for CocoaPress, and I recently gave that to someone else to work on as a fun side project.
Yeah, the CocoaPress is a fun little machine. It's it's a Voron, but the chocolate is what makes it fun, right?
Yes, but to be a beta tester, it was an experience because I had never built a printer before. So thank you very much to Zombie Hedgehog for, I had a crew helping me do that build. And also I think we helped write the guide for CocoaPress. That's awesome. Which was fun. So.
That is really good.
Yeah.
That is really, really awesome. So I lost my place, but I'm thinking through. So are you kind of firmly in the bamboo camp? Is there a particular reason why you choose bamboo over other printers? Or that's I just bought a bunch of them and that's what it is?
It's just what I have. One of them, they all have special names and stuff. I bought them for different reasons. But I will be adding a new family member very soon. Okay. To be determined, to be announced, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, and that is not going to be a bamboo.
It's not going to be a bamboo. Okay.
Not going to be a bamboo.
All right. But, do you have a certain naming scheme? Like I just recently started naming my printers. I've never my printers were always like Prusa 001, Prusa 002. So like I was told you got to change that. You need more interesting names. How do you name your printers?
There's usually a little story for every printer. Okay. So my Prusa Mini is called Wexter Mini because Wexter designs minis. He's a good friend of mine, so I decided to call it Wexter. The X1 Carbon is K2 Super Friend because K2 Kevin helped me get that printer. Right. Okay. With being a designer on Maker World, you get points and things that you can share. The P2S needs a name. Right now, it's just P2S.
Uh-oh.
But it was actually a birthday gift from my community.
Okay.
So we still need to name that.
Y'all need to get on that, guys.
Yeah, the A1 Mini is called Detroit City, which is long story short. K2 Kevin always thought that the song was A1A instead of Beachfront Avenue. He thought it was A1A Detroit City.
Detroit.
So anyway,
Okay.
we just called it that. And then the A1 is called Makerchip Express because I was printing a lot of Makerchips that needed a new printer, and I think it was Fabrico that ended up ordering a whole bunch of Makerchips so I could buy it. So it's Makerchip Express.
So yours is more about the situational. You name it based on
all the
situations
stories,
and
yeah.
all the stories and everything.
All kinds
That's
of
cool.
stories.
That is cool. I base mine off chickens, so and
Oh, that's
yeah,
fun.
just different words that are used for chickens. Good to see everybody, guys.
Some people have superheroes.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
people have all different things.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But guys, thank y'all for being here tonight. Keep your questions coming. I'm watching the rooms. We see everything that's going on. Really appreciate y'all being here. Like I said earlier, I need y'all to share this out. I need y'all to let people know that this interview is going on because we want to make sure that as many people as possible learn about PezLiz and we get her story out there and the things that she is doing. We're going to talk about some of the stuff. I know recently you had a fundraiser.
Yes. So last night we closed it.
Okay.
So yeah, I fundraise for 2 different charities on Twitch. I fundraise for several, but I've chosen 2 that I focus on, and one of them is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And I just got back from Memphis, where I attended St. Jude Play Live Summit.
Okay.
Which is where all of the pretty much the top fundraisers for St. Jude get to meet up and learn more about the charity and get to talk about what they do for the charity and all sorts of things. Okay. So I normally fundraise for St. Jude in July with on Twitch we have stream teams where a lot of people attach themselves to a team.
Right.
So my team is Team Moko Made, which is brother and sister daily streamers that do making and crafting and also share the making and crafting of the community. So they started, I think 3 years ago now, they started doing charity streams for St. Jude. So I joined with them. But this month is on Twitch. It's St. Jude Play Live, which is a lot of gamers and different streamers fundraising for St. Jude. So on Twitch, when they have special events, they have special categories when you go to the Twitch homepage. Okay. So one of them is St. Jude Play Live, and I appear on that shelf when I'm streaming. Oh, cool. So I'm like, well, I have to do something for St. Jude during the month that I'm appearing on the shelf. So I had a goal of $500. And my community doesn't listen to, the goals.
They don't.
And I'm glad because, we raised over $3,000.
That's what I was showing a second ago.
Yeah, $3,000 in 3 streams. So
that is crazy.
I'm very proud of what we're able to do, and that's just the beginning of this year's charity stuff. So
that's awesome.
In July we'll be doing St. Jude again, and then in August I do Stand Up to Cancer with the Lego Builders and the Stand Up Builders campaign. So
that's great. That sounds really, really good. That's awesome. Congrats on blasting the goal away, guys. That is really impressive. We have 3D Print Cares. That's part of our Discord server with Brady and Binsky, and we have a lot of people like Steffi Makes in our community. Does a lot of different things. So I always like seeing people in the makerspace doing what they can to push.
And that's what I said at St. Jude Summit. I said, they had gamers, they had IRL streamers, they had some makers and crafters, but I said, oh, you guys just wait. 3D printing, we know how, we love and we care and we give.
Very
and
much
I said, this is very much how this community operates.
Yeah,
so.
it really is. It's really been amazing to kind of see the things that the community has really been able to accomplish. So we have one really important question that we have to ask every show. And
Okay.
this is the audience question that everybody wants to know. What is your favorite ice cream?
Okay, so this is interesting because it's not something that I can get in Canada unless I specifically visit Ben and Jerry's Scoop Shop, which we fortunately, since Montreal, well, Quebec is on the border with Vermont, I can have access to. It's fish food, Ben and Jerry's fish food,
Fish
which
food.
is chocolate with caramel and marshmallow swirl and little fudge fish.
I've never had anybody else had fish food.
Yeah.
I've never had fish food.
It's
That's
so
interesting.
good. It's so good.
I've learned about so many
And
different
then
ice creams.
if I couldn't get it, if I can't get it,
Okay.
then we have a flavor of ice cream in. I think some places have it, but it's different combinations. Moon Mist, which is it's very much maritime provinces of Canada.
Okay.
It is banana, grape, and bubblegum ice cream, which
That-
sounds awful but is beautiful.
That sounds pretty good. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like the bubble gum ice cream. I'm a cookies. I like cookies and cream guy. I like that, and then vanilla's next. So I don't explore a lot in ice cream, but that one actually sounds pretty good.
Karen Chow is in Twitch chat. She likes ice cream.
Oh.
She could talk about ice cream anytime. So.
I'll have to ask.
She said it's been a while since I had fish food.
Oh.
See there.
She'll go, hey, tell us your favorite, Karen. Tell us your favorite.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Okay. Fish food. Nate. Is Nate here? Does Nate approve of fish food? I didn't see a vote or anything come from him. So he's
it's after the band fish, so it's PHISH.
Okay.
too.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense. Well, so we see how you got into 3D printing, and I know there's some similarities as far as our communities, and one of our big things that I know you talk about a lot is kind of the showing as you learn kind of aspect of content creation, or the content creation, making anything like that. Is that something that you've learned about over time? Is that something maybe a family member taught in your life? Where does that lesson or the idea of that come from for you?
I was raised by a father of daughters. I have a sister, so 2 daughters, who did not. We were not daddy's little girl at all. There was no like. The only time I ever said daddy was to annoy my sister, because I'm the younger sister.
Okay.
But he taught us how to use all the different power tools and taught us how to do everything for ourselves. And when I started in 3D printing, we have, of course, a mutual that is a very inspirational female in 3D printing, Courtney.
Courtney,
of
yes,
course.
of course.
But I saw that there weren't as many women doing things in 3D printing.
Right.
We now can count on more than one hand.
That's true.
Which is great. But I, especially being someone who spends a lot of time on Twitch, I noticed there wasn't really a presence on Twitch.
Right.
So I thought, what could I do? Where is there a void that I could fill and where I could be useful? And so I started out with my friend Zombie Hedgehog, Austin, and we started just on MakerDeck with voice only. We started doing a show called Z and Z, which was supposed to be like a coffee talk thing.
Right.
And then we slowly transformed that into a show, which we do every single Monday evening on Twitch. And we're basically sharing what we're learning, sharing what we're discovering, doing troubleshooting as we're troubleshooting. And so that's sort of where we got that from, because when we first started streaming, someone said, you're not experts. We're like, we know we're not experts.
Yeah.
He started 3D printing in March of 2022. I started 3D printing in February 2022. And I think our show is it just turned 3. So when we were doing our show on Twitch, it was like, look what we're learning today. Look what we're making right now. And when I sort of branched out on my own, when people wanted me to stream more than just on Monday nights with Austin, I thought, what type of content do I want to make? And so I do have a mission statement, which is creating 3D printing content that empowers people to learn, make, and share with confidence.
Okay.
And a lot of that goes out to new people in 3D printing and also empowering women in 3D printing.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. I think there is so many people act like experts, right? They present themselves as knowing everything rather than just show us the learning process. People love watching people.
I love making mistakes.
Yeah, they love watching people fail. They love watching, just the real stuff. And, even Bensky, he said mistakes make magic, right? And there's all of that is so important to everything that goes on. So back with your dad, I think that's a really interesting. So he was pushing y'all more on the tool side and everything. So what did that?
No, whatever we wanted to do in life, just you can do it. You can do it yourself. You can figure it out yourself. And that was sort of the push.
Okay. What did that look like when you were, say junior high or so? Was he kind of encouraging you in that way at that time? Did it come later? And what were you doing in junior high?
In junior high, I was definitely a choir nerd. I was in an honor choir, so a traveling choir.
Yeah.
When I was in junior high, we sang at Carnegie Hall which was really funny. We're from rural Nova Scotia, so rural Nova Scotia. Some of these people, it's still the only plane ride they ever took. Some of these people, it's the only time they ever went to New York City. Some of those people live in New York City now, but to have that experience was absolutely amazing. So. My dad just enabled whatever hobby I wanted to get into. So that was one of them.
That's
and
awesome. You're the first choir nerd I've had on the show. I was very much the choir nerd. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's a great experience.
Yeah,
it's a great experience.
So did you have any extracurricular stuff that you did? Like how did you entertain yourself as a kid? Were you say choir nerd, did you do any other stuff in school? Did you try sports? What?
I did all sorts of things. It's interesting. A lot of people who are in the making and crafting community, especially on Twitch, they have all these stories about it. In high school, they were bullied and stuff. We just decided to take over our school. My group of friends was we were all weirdos, and we did whatever we wanted to do. So we would convince teachers that we could have a medieval banquet, at 8 o'clock in the morning in 9th grade. That's a normal thing to do. We did all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But I was involved in drama. We had like a pro soccer team. So I couldn't do soccer.
Okay.
But I participated like every Friday night. A very small town. So we all went to the hockey games and did stuff like that. So I don't know. I had a very normal, but also a group of really interesting, abnormal friends who are all doing interesting things now.
Okay. So. And then, pushing on it, did you go to college? Did you go straight to work?
Yeah. I went to university. I did history and political science.
Okay.
I got really involved in politics for a while, and then I retired from politics.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Politics. Go away.
But it was fun. I learned a lot about being from a small town.
Mm-hmm.
For me, politics was about people.
Right.
And so everything that I learned in politics has carried on in all the different things that I've done.
Awesome.
So I worked for a few years after university as an executive assistant, actually for a lobbyist. I did all sorts of things until I sort of came across, doing this.
Right.
So, but people skills and also being from a small town, I think, has helped me do what I do on Twitch and in the community.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that's a great application of that knowledge. I think, looking at political and just the history, and I think that teaches you so much between the two. That's really awesome. That is great. Guys, thank y'all for being here tonight. Keep those questions coming in. I know it's an interesting conversation and y'all just want to listen, but let me know what you want to know, guys. Y'all are here, participate, be a part of what's happening. But we are sitting here. For those of you who are new in the room, we're talking to our friend PezLiz, or Liz. You hear her use that T word an awful lot. She does kind of hang out over on the Twitch space. So that is your primary. That is what you would say. That's my
home.
Space.
That's home for sure. But I mean, it's funny. I do go on TikTok usually at night, so I will see some of you doing things on TikTok until my phone drops on my face. And I participate in YouTube and things like that. Oh, speaking of Twitch, Polymaker just raided in on Twitch.
Oh,
So
woohoo.
welcome
Awesome.
welcome in,
Welcome
Polymaker
in, guys.
friends.
Thank y'all for coming in.
They just did Meet the Polymaker with Burn Station, who's actually someone from Nova Scotia. So I'm from Nova Scotia originally. And we haven't met yet, though. So someday I'll get to meet Burn Station.
Okay.
But he does, of course, 3D printing things and making things. So
that's awesome. Well, everybody's coming in. I should do that intro thing again. Hi, guys. Thank y'all for being here tonight. This is our friend over here, PezLiz. Y'all should check her out if you're ever interested in her content. You can find it over on Twitch. Very, very easy to find. She's there, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, all the days
Wednesday,
almost.
Friday,
This is
Saturday,
like your only day not streaming, and so
Tuesdays every day, but Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah.
So that's awesome. But how did
introduce yourself? Introduce yourself to the Twitch people.
I'm JC. Asylum Life. I am Asylum Life Makes Everywhere. We have a community of makers. We're not just 3D printing, but we like to live by the idea of living life to the fullest, growing in wisdom, and showing what we learn generously. So we have a fun community. We do so many different things. But yeah, if you're interested, come and join us over there. We're always attached to other content creators, though. We always share each other's servers and like to become a part of other communities. Now, K2.
Absolutely.
So K2 Kevin, how did y'all meet? What's this story? Y'all are always doing things together and working. The coins have been. Or chips have been so amazing. I'm the maker coin guy. Y'all are the maker chip.
Yeah.
But the chip that has been such a really interesting thing. So how did y'all come into that idea?
We have a group of friends that hangs out on Discord and things like that. And I think Kevin came back from probably 3D Printopia, one of the events.
Right.
And he was going. We were actually starting to prepare for Rocky Mountain 3 years ago.
Gotcha.
And he was saying, "Oh, I have all this stuff." Like he put, similar to what Courtney does, he put all the stickers in a drawer or whatever. He took all the stickers and put them in one place. He put all the tchotchkes in a pile to give to his nephews and whatever else. And he was like, "I wish that there was something that I could bring to a show that I would want to collect." So he was flipping, I think he had a poker chip on, and he said, I always keep a poker chip when I go somewhere. And so he was flipping it around, and he and Joe Mike Makes, our friend Joe Mike, sort of came up with the idea of making a standardized size of a maker coin.
Yeah.
And the maker chip was born.
Yeah.
So from there, the very first event was Rocky Mountain 3 years ago.
Right.
And a few of us printed some maker chips, and then he printed a couple little samples for different people. I think he printed some for Courtney, for Pooch, for a couple different companies, and it just took off from there. It's become.
It really, really did.
Yes.
Y'all's table during the festivals it's always so busy. Just people flooded over there looking at the different coins y'all have collected over time, and it's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Now, as far as designing and everything, I know you have a Patreon. I know you have a lot of different things you do. How much designing do you do?
I haven't done as much designing now that I'm doing content creation full time. But I have done a few different things, and like the PezFinity, which is the Gridfinity enabled Pez, Pez holder. I have a couple different things, just things that I thought, oh, this would be interesting to do. Like I have a little tulip vase. I don't even think I have one here, and a couple little things. Most of them are on my printables in my Maker World.
Right.
But when HueForge started, actually Zombie Hedgehog and I were two of the first people that we were the first people that interviewed Steve from HueForge. Okay. And so I made a few HueForges that are still quite popular. My Dahlia and my Maple Leaf are like two of the most popular ones out of what I create. But there's so many HueForge people that do exceptional things. But this was fun because this was actually it was Thanksgiving, so Canada Thanksgiving is in October. So I was walking to a Thanksgiving dinner, and this maple leaf slapped me in the face pretty much. It came off a tree, and so I took a picture of it. I actually put it up against a black surface and took a picture of it, and I thought, I'm gonna make a HueForge out of that. So that's just one of my fun creative things. So any Hue Forges that I do are based on my own photos.
Okay.
So I did a whole series on Thangs at one point where I did postcards, for example. I did pictures
cool.
from different cities I've been to. But this is an actual dahlia that I took a picture of and I made into a Hue Forge. So those are just fun things that I've done.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But,
that looks great. I so want to get into Hue Forge. I've got it. I keep it up to date, and I just never get into it. I don't do a lot of color.
It's fun. I love color.
Yep.
That's what I do. It's become.
Yeah, that was one of your things early on, wasn't it? Everything was color, everything. And now, is that something that you still? Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of random filament, as everybody does when they first start 3D printing, but I didn't have the ability to print in multicolor because this was 2022. So I learned about the M600 command and started doing color swaps. And so Nick from Polymaker nicknamed me the color swap queen because I think I did for one charity stream I did 36 filament swaps on a vase, which was pretty fun.
Wow.
And Karen Chow even designed me an emote for that. So color has been a big part of my passion in 3D printing and how to use color to showcase the amazing designs that our gigantic catalog of designers has.
Yeah. Whether
it's practical or it's something fun and whimsical.
Are there
I love playing with color?
Are there other things besides 3D printing that you do? And the makerspace, like do you laser, wood, any other stuff? Have you ever done any cosplay? Do you what?
Not a whole lot. I do a little bit of jewelry stuff, but most of that is involved with 3D printing.
Okay.
I've tried all sorts of arts and crafts and things, and 3D printing just seems to suit me in what I like to do. And a little bit of photography, but nothing very much amateur. But just trying to get a good shot, especially when I'm taking pictures of models, and trying to showcase. I like to showcase the filament and the designer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Good. Well, guys, thank y'all for being here. I like to break in every now and then and just introduce y'all to PezLiz. I am actually going to push her off the screen for a minute and talk with y'all. We have some different things coming up, so she could take a break, sip a little bit more of that. Are we drinking coffee? Is this what we have tonight?
That is coffee.
That is coffee.
Yes.
Nothing mixed in with it, just coffee.
No, coffee and water.
And water. There we go. Today. Awesome. Well, I'm going to drop you back, let you relax for a minute, and I'm going to talk to everybody. Guys, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. If this is your first time seeing this show, this happens every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So come join us and be a part. This is where we get to know the content creators and the makers that we really enjoy watching. We get to learn a lot more about them. As far as Asylum Life, we have a Discord. It's in the bio. It's everywhere that I am. You can jump into my bio and you can find the Discord and become a part of that community. Not only are we a community of makers, but we connect to many other Discords. So you can find some really good resources to help you do whatever you want to do. We have homebrew stuff. We have normal everyday stuff. We have people who are cleaning their houses and posting different things about it. And you'll find just about anything that anybody can work on over on our Discord. And our community is growing more and more every day. So you are welcome anytime. And if you need... if you have any questions, if you ever want to know anything, feel free to DM me or the people in the chat. They are always willing to help, and we would definitely like you to be a part of our community. So we are a value for value. I like to talk about value for value a little bit. It's not a concept I came up with, but it's something that I just like to share because the idea is that I add value to y'all, the community adds value to everybody, and in that we help each other grow. right? Sometimes that has to do with the things we talk about: time, talent, and treasure. The time is you here, is you spending time on the Discord server, is you being part of the community, helping people, learning yourself. That is all about the time. We actually have a guild system that you can work yourself up through as you spend more time on our Discord server. When you hit certain levels, there's different gifts and things that you get as you grow in the community, because we just want to celebrate people as they learn more and as they become part of our community. So that's the time. The talent: maybe you're a designer, maybe you like graphics, maybe you like music. Maybe there's so many people in the makerspace that can create amazing things, and you want to be a part of what we do as a community. We have so many events. We have the virtual wine and paint. We have this show. We have Maketober coming up here really soon. We do different things in our booths. We're always looking for people who want to yield their talents to what we're doing. And then the last part is the treasure. I don't belabor that, but there's plenty of ways for you to find out. If you don't have the time and don't feel like you have the talent, you can always come and bring the treasure, and y'all can figure that out yourself, or DM me, or work that out. But I just thank y'all so much for being here. This would not be the show that it is without the people who come here on a weekly basis. So, guys, we're going to go back to our friend PezLiz. Now, Pez, do y'all do... Hey, she didn't pop back up. Why didn't my little thing? There we are. That's supposed to automatically do it. But anyway, bringing Pez back in. In your community, first off, this is your full-time job, right? This is what you do.
This is for the last year or so. This is what I'm doing. I said I'm going to jump in and try to do this full time. So, okay. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's sustaining itself and it's moving forward. You're having a lot of success.
Yeah. Good. I have lots of interesting opportunities, and always seeking them out too. As we know, this is what we got to do. Keep on moving, keep on doing. So.
Right. And we were talking about the festivals, or we've got the Rep Rap festivals, we got the expos and the different things going on. You were at Murph. Are you looking at going to Murph or Lone Star or 3D Printopia or any of those?
Yeah, my next event that I'm actually going to is the Montreal Manufacturing Technology Show.
That's a mouthful.
So that's next Saturday, or no, next Monday and Tuesday here in Montreal. So I've never been to an industry event of that type, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there if I decide to make content or whatnot. But yeah, I'll be attending the Midwest Rep Rap Festival.
Okay.
As I mentioned, it is our dysfunctional family reunion for 3D printing. Making.
I like to think of it as the garage band of the 3D festival.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun event. I am hoping to make it to Lone Star.
Okay.
One of my favorite people in 3D printing lives in Texas, and I've never been able to visit his home turf. So Fix 'em Dude.
Yeah.
And of course we've got Kit Killed and all kinds of other amazing people that are going to be there. Yeah. And I think I've signed myself up now to be at 3D Printopia too. So.
Okay.
It's a lot.
now, do you have a favorite of all the ones that you've gone to? I know that's always like a hot take. You want to be careful, but is there a favorite festival that you have?
Every event is different. I think every event is quite different. And so each one has its own advantages. I love Rocky Mountain for starting out, really getting the year revved up.
Right.
But and then Murph is, like I said, it's like the family vacation, hangout, whatever. But also I've made some really great connections and built friendships at Murph for sure.
I'm excited. I get to go this year. I didn't get to make it last year. So I'll be there this year.
Fun.
And I think we're going to get a table. We've been talking about getting a table and just having some fun. Axes averted. We had what was the normie job? There is no normie job. This is her normie job.
Well, I was an executive assistant, and the person I was working for was semi-retired, and during COVID, I actually ended up moving in because in the middle of COVID, she had a stroke.
Wow.
And so I actually became an unintentional caregiver for a while.
Okay.
And when she transitioned to other care, I was on my own. I had already started I was working doing Maker Deck things, and also I had a whole bunch of side projects. So streaming sort of just happened, which is the way life happens. But yeah, I was an executive assistant for quite a while for a lobbyist, and did all sorts of charity work and events and all sorts of things. Yeah. But also my side gig, I had a couple different side gigs doing event planning and doing some content stuff with Chris Perillo and whatever else. So.
That's so cool, yeah. Chris Perillo. Like I met Leo Laporte, like that whole group of people, right? That was just for me, it was like when I hear those names, it's such nostalgia. I think that's just awesome that you were able to spend time. Is he who everybody thinks he is? Is he a good dude?
Chris is exactly who he appears in awesome. His videos. He is as wacky and stuff. He is definitely short in person. He makes me feel like a giant. I'm 5'8", and he's like
that's great.
He's like 5'5", I think. So yeah. That's but he's got a giant personality.
Yeah, no, so. He does. If that's his real person, he definitely has a giant personality. Yeah. That is awesome. And then I know we had talked about, I wanted to kind of reintroduce everybody to some of the fundraising and stuff you did. I know we talked about the goal that y'all hit. Are there other fundraising things that you're still a part of besides just the St. Jude? And I know.
So there's a couple of things.
Okay.
I mean, anytime there's any sort of community initiative, I'm there to support in whatever way possible.
Right.
On Twitch, we have a lot of people that fundraise for the Starlight Children's Foundation. That's the organization that puts gaming consoles and makes lots of like fun comfort things for kids in hospital. Okay. I also fundraise for Stand Up to Cancer. But one thing that I'm doing is using a controversial thing in 3D printing for charity.
Uh-oh.
So
wow, this could go several different ways.
If we go to the drive, I uploaded it very, very at the very bottom. You'll see it says stab and don't stab. So
okay,
we have of course.
Find that one. I don't think I have that one.
It just uploaded to the drive, so it should be there now. So it's very controversial, I think, in 3D printing. When you get filament, if the bag is resealable, I am very adamant that you do not stab the bag. I know it's very satisfying to just puncture that bag, hear the air hiss, and then, but I am very anti-waste. I have filament bags here that I store everything. I for every single Rep Rap festival, most of my stuff is stored. So Fix'em Dude made a graphic that says stab that bag. And then we have one that says don't stab that bag.
Oh, I missed that one. Give me a sec. I'll grab it.
So we are using that. We are using the proceeds from Stabby merch on my fourth wall shop.
That is great.
So if you go to PezLiz.com, the merch is there. So $5 from the sale of everything that is Stabby or Don't Stabby is going to my St. Jude campaign in July. So we have over $200 raised just from that merch.
That is great.
So it is a controversial thing. I think in all forms of, but I am anti-waste. Yeah. So there will be times when I'm streaming, and if the bag is not resealable, I will give people the satisfaction, and I like to stab it, and then I place the spool on my chest and rip it open like She-Hulk or something. But
that's
I
awesome.
am very anti-stab.
Okay.
So that's an ongoing charity initiative.
I'm not a stab guy, but you know what our mutual is. Our mutual. She's very much a stabber. So that is great. As long as it's recycled, I think it's important. Well, and that we know that does happen.
And there are a lot of people that make the comment that there's 3D printing, there's a lot of waste. I still think, and this goes back to learning and knowledge is power. I think the biggest waste of filament is a failed print. So that's where I come in with the education.
Yeah.
Let's make sure your build plate's clean. Are you printing with the right settings? Are you using the right supports? All of those sorts of things. So I don't think that that anything that you print is wasted if it's gifted or shared or whatnot. But
right, I would agree with that.
If you have a failed print, that is definitely a waste.
Yeah.
So,
well,
except for the knowledge.
Right.
You know, you learn from your mistakes.
Of course. But there's also still, even in the waste, right? There's so many different ways to reuse or upcycle or, you know, do different things with the plastic that people consider the waste. I've been collecting, and I think I'm about to get like one of those big bags, like a big 10-pound bag or something of printer poop. I've got a project I'm going to be working on, so I'm not making new filament. I'm never going to get into the filament game. I don't want to go there. That's way too much. But we're going to have an interesting project with that one coming up.
Awesome.
So that's cool. That is cool. Then the charities. That's really awesome. I love the stab, don't stab. I need one of the stickers when it happens. I definitely need the stickers. So, and we'll do a thing with those.
I should have stickers by Murph, I think.
Okay. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So I'm trying to decide. There's so many ways I could ask questions, so many things I could do. Is there something in particular you want to talk about? Is there something you want to make sure that we hit that I haven't hit yet?
The biggest thing is there are a lot of people that are brand new to 3D printing. And so if they come to me and I'm streaming and it's their first week in 3D printing, we get a lot of brand new people to 3D printing come into MakerDeck chat because it's 24/7. I like to provide them with not a soft spot, you know, to learn, but a place where it's like, you know, there are reasons why we do these things. There are reasons why, you know, you don't touch the build plate. I think knowledge is power, and I really like to create an environment that fosters not just being welcoming, but also learning for yourself. Because
Right.
I remember my first couple of weeks of 3D printing, I think anybody who 3D prints knows you can have, as we didn't even have wikis. You know, we
Right,
didn't have
right.
like, you know,
No.
you could go find a YouTube video or whatever, but
Right.
you could have someone hold your hand the entire step through your first blob of death or whatever, but the only way that you're going to learn is on your own and by seeking different sources of knowledge. So
Right.
I think that type of empowerment is actually something that's really interesting in 3D printing that I didn't always see, for example, in tech. You know, being a moderator for Chris Perullo when he was doing a lot of tech content. No one said, you know, here are all the resources, but it's up to you.
Right.
And so I find that really interesting about 3D printing.
Yeah.
And then I love new people because I get to introduce them to designers.
Yeah.
I do have like a collection of designers, but also I like to showcase anything that's new and interesting and fun. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
I
cool.
like that sharing aspect.
Well, let's I that a little bit because you know I had a guy who came in alive the other day and said, you know, he looks at 3D printers and everybody seems to be like in these columns and everybody has what they think is right, and I think that is a struggle that we run against sometimes. You made me laugh a second ago when you were talking about the chains. When you were talking about touching the build plate, because there was a video I was watching of yours where the guy was taking off some supports and his hands were all over his build plate, and you were like, no. But so a new person comes up and says, you know, and they want to get into 3D printing. How do you start that conversation with them? How do you get them moving in the right direction?
I like to gauge what their budget is.
Okay.
Because as we know, yes, 3D printing you can go, well, up like 2 years ago, you just go to, if you're in America, you go to Micro Center and get a $99 Ender,
Right.
and then end up spending $300 or $400 modding.
Right.
But 3D printing is definitely an investment. I do get to work with filament companies, so a lot of my filament is free, but I remember stocking up on my first, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like $30, $40 a spool.
Yeah.
I better make sure I use it wisely, you know. So 3D printing is an investment. So I sort of gauge what people's budgets are, and then what, you asked me what other hobbies I have and things like that. I gauge whether they are someone who likes to tinker or make, and giving them those suggestions. And then from there, I think that people can, find inspiration in all different places. But my Sunday streams are where I actually am very inspired. And I find that a lot of people in my community get inspired to start projects, because Sundays I do my Sunday. I do sharing. So my Discord is open, and I have a sharing makes channel, and I basically spend Sunday afternoon going through everybody's projects that they want to share. Some people say, I printed this at, 0.2 layer height with this, this infill and this filament, and they go into deep detail. I always make sure people link the models if it's a 3D print.
Awesome.
Say, please link the model, share, I'm very passionate about designers. Designers are, what helped me make content. Filament and designers. But there are also people that do all sorts of making projects, and they share it. I have someone that does a lot of chainmail jewelry. There are people that do laser and CNC. There are people that do resin, jewelry making, fiber arts, all sorts of things. And awesome. I find that when I finish my Sunday stream, the people that are watching come out of it inspired to start a new project, to try something different, to try a different technique, and then I have ideas for what I want to tackle next.
Right.
So I think cool. it's really fun.
What would one piece of advice that you would give to a person who's brand new to 3D printing?
Use the resources that are available. So, for example, if you get a bamboo, don't go to Facebook and ask questions. Go to the wiki first.
Never go to Facebook and ask questions.
Never go to Facebook. Never go to Facebook. It's true. But, find those resources, and also remember that your experience is an individual experience. So if someone tells you to put hairspray on that build plate, I don't like hairspray. Anyway, but if someone tells you to do one thing, and, make an assessment of what's best for yourself. I know some people started out with resin 3D printing and realized, oh my goodness, I'm way over my head.
Right.
And actually, one of my friends who streams on Twitch, Mike Moans, he does miniatures, and most of his miniatures are done with a 0.4 nozzle on a regular printer.
Right.
Like he's been doing that a lot. He's sort of stepped away from resin as much. So there's a lot that you can do with just any regular standard 3D printer now. I love that the standard has now changed. So auto bed leveling is a thing,
I know,
changeable,
right?
changeable nozzles, accessibility to replacement supplies. When I started in 2022 with my focus, I couldn't get replacement supplies. It's a very closed system with focus. And so the only thing that they could do is, when focus printers were available in Canada, they sent me a brand new printer. And that is not the solution anymore to a problem.
Oh, and changing nozzles used to be so nerve-wracking when the first few times were doing it.
the tools like to change on the Mark III. And then you're like, I'm gonna burn myself. I'm gonna pull out the thermistor. All those things.
To crack the block.
Everyone is starting out at definitely at a plus. If they have $300, they can get a decent printer now, which is really nice.
Yeah. No, that's
really,
very true.
Really nice.
Very, very true. What piece of advice would you give to people who've been printing for a long time? Like, let's narrow that down into, like, when it comes to new people in, what type of advice would you give an old head in the 3D printing space when it comes to the new 3D printers?
Don't dismiss them because they've got the privilege. Appreciate that they have the privilege of having a really good machine for the most part. But a lot of your knowledge is still extremely applicable. People who have a bamboo printer, they open up an app, they set it and forget it. After a few months, for some people, they're like, what can I do next? I want to explore new materials. So you can talk to them. You can say, if you want to print with TPU, need a filament dryer. With TPU, you want to have the shortest, filament path possible. Try doing TPU for the Drydens that you love. You know, it's so fun to print like flexies and stuff in TPU. Try new materials. You can still share all of your knowledge with people who are brand new. And just be patient and guide them to the resources. That's what I do all the time. Like, there'll be people in a Facebook group that actually show the QR code. What does this mean? And I said, well, did you scan the QR code and go to the wiki? But sometimes you have to gently guide them to it. The one thing that I'm struggling with, and I think a lot of people struggle with, is the people that think that anything they want, they can AI it.
Right.
And I have so much respect for designers and the effort that they go through to make models that I bite my tongue.
Yeah.
I do redirect them to, like, there's Maker World, there's Thangs, there's printables. This is this designer. They make this, they make that. You know, if you want to customize it, that's a whole other thing. But people that think that they can just, you know, make a model like that.
Yeah. Well, and in a way you can, but it's not the same. It's not the results and the printability and all there's so much
oh my gosh
you need to know as a designer for a print to not have to use supports or use supports in a very specific way, or there's so many things to it. I mean, I'm guilty of using AI, but I understand that's not the end all be all of the entire process. There's so much more to it.
And you have to understand how a model comes together, how to slice a model in order to, I think, to design a model.
Yeah.
During Z and Z earlier this year, we actually made a model. It's just a little snowman, but we made a model in the slicer. So we were showing people, this is what you're capable of doing. You know, even just in the slicer, you can put shapes together and do these things. Yeah. And I'm still a big supporter of using things like Tinkercad to get started, to learn how 3D design works. And for anyone that's brand new, get in the slicer. Yeah. Slice your models. Do not learn it. Yeah, do not. And also avoid grid infill. Grid is gross. Grid is very gross. That's my other
What's your favorite infill?
Hard line.
What's your favorite infill?
When I'm doing, I like adaptive cubic for doing figures and things. Right. And then, I don't know, I really love if I'm doing something that has a bottom surface. I do like the Archimedean chords. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And aside from that, a gyroid. I don't know. I've got all kinds of favorite.
I do a lot more practical stuff, so mine depends on where I need pressure, right, or support. So, but no, that's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. This has been fun. This really has.
Happy to be here.
And, I know, guys, I'm going to give y'all just a little bit to get your questions in. But we are coming up to the end of the show. We like to keep this to an hour and everything. This does become available on YouTube later. You'll be able to see the live immediately after this. You can also see it on Twitch, guys. If you missed anything, you'll be able to see it there as well. And then I'll have an edited version that I put up a little bit later. So if you have any questions, get them in really quick. We're almost there.
I see a comment from Agro Magnet. If you want to support your model makers, give credit on your makers table at the RepRap events. Funny thing, someone took my paper. I had it printed on paper, the designers. Right. So I had a whole little thing. I should have printed like 6 copies instead of 3. Someone took all the papers that I had with the QR codes to the designers.
Oh, wow.
These things happen. When you go to a RepRap festival, you kind of expect anything that you put on your table goes missing, but I did not expect that I
will say that was weird. That was weird about the RepRap festival. People were a lot more grabby this year. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but it's like I kept having to grab my models. I'm like, no, I'm showing things. Stop.
Yeah, I accept that the majority of things that I bring to an event are going to be taken, but it's when they're going to be taken, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
One of the most popular models that I did was Bearded Printer's floppy stroopwafel. And the number of people that just tried to walk away, I'm like, can you bring that back? You can come back on Sunday and have this. So I have prepared myself this entire James the printer container is full of floppy stroopwafels for the next event.
Yeah.
So same with maker chips.
Tech Jeepers saying need a no touchy zone. Yeah,
that's 100%. What Bearded Printer
100%.
had. Bearded Printer had a touchy and no touchy. Honestly, same with maker chips. I had 500 or 600 maker chips gone by 11:30 on Saturday of Rocky Mountain. So that was big.
Yeah. I ran out of mine, but I had plenty for like it worked out for me. That's the first one I've actually had enough coins that I didn't run out. So it was good. It was good. Well, guys.
And then there's stickers and things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they like grabbing everything, which is cool because we're there to give it away. We're there to meet people and share what we do. But guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Pez, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Any last words before we head out?
For anyone that's actually, you said something about for people that are part of like the old guard of 3D printing. Keep discovering things. Keep finding new projects. Keep yourself interested. I mean, JC just said, "Oh, I want to try HueForge." Then try it.
Yeah.
And let us know your experience.
Definitely.
But there's always something new. There's always something really interesting. There's always updates to things. And then for anyone that's new to 3D printing, don't always go for the latest thing that you see at the top of a page. If, for example, if you really like a designer like Fix'em Dude, I'm gonna just grab Fix'em Dude because I like it. When you go to their profile, go all the way to the bottom. They have a wealth of models and a wealth of knowledge and so many things to share. But everything old is new again.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to seasonal things. If someone makes a beautiful twisty Christmas tree, it's going to be great every single year. So and then also for people that are new, don't be scared to try new things.
Yeah.
Every single Wednesday, I have a show that is sponsored by Polymaker called Imprinting Color, and I talk about using different materials. I just did a show about HTPLA. Summer's coming, so yes, you can print with ABS, ASA, PETG, but I love HTPLA for things like your bird feeders and things that are going outside. Don't be afraid to try new materials and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
you always learn from all of it. Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you to TikTok. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to Twitch. Thank y'all for being here. A lot of new people over on Twitch today. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all participating. It's been a lot of fun. We're definitely going to be over on Twitch a lot more now. I got my internet at home figured out, so we're much better off.
Can I teach you how to raid?
So yes,
can I teach
please.
You how to raid
you
on
can
Twitch?
teach me how to raid. We're gonna have to. We need to get you to do a Twitch class at some point.
But, I should.
Yeah,
I should.
That would be awesome.
And then I'll have to learn more about TikTok too.
Awesome. We'll have to do that. We'll have a knowledge share, I think is what they call that.
So, do you have a Twitch window open? Do you have are you able to get onto Twitch itself?
Let me see. I usually just do it through Streamlabs, so let me see.
So, you have to open up Twitch itself and get to your stream and get to your chat.
I bet it's on my phone. I could do that.
Yeah, you can do it there, I think.
We'll try.
And I'll give you an easy raid. I'll give you an easy raid where you don't have to be social. So you do /. Yep. So you go into your chat.
Go into my chat.
And then you do /raid, RAID.
/RAID.
And then do a space.
Space.
And then for today, type in MakerDeck. MakerDeck.
And
we'll be.
Thank you, guys.
Then you raid on over.
Have a good one. Right away, guys. Right away, guys. Thank you so much. Guys, thank y'all for being here. Tell PezLiz, thank you for being here. We're going to hear a lot more from her. I hope we'll get her over to do some classes and stuff. We'll have a little bit of fun, but I will catch you in the green room in just a second, Pez. We'll talk a little bit more. But guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't ever met Pez before, you haven't looked at her stuff, go find her. That is over, and I showed you that a little bit ago. If you go to PezLiz.com, you can find every everything about her and find all the places that you can find her, and just jump into her content, see what she's doing. She's doing some really awesome stuff over there. But thank you so much for being here tonight. I appreciate y'all. And just remember, we always want to live life to the fullest. We want to grow in wisdom, and we want to show what we have learned generously. See y'all next Tuesday for debate night. Catch you later, guys.